And a good afternoon or evening, or maybe even morning for some of you viewers out there. Welcome back to A Link to the Past Randomizer League Season 5. This is Game 2 between TM32 Godrout and the Turtle Rockers. With Zeke and Drieky being on the left side here for us today for Godrout, and MalXantholos and Phaaze representing the Turtle Rockers. Turtle Rockers won Game 1 on Monday. Let's see if our co-op pairs today have something else for us. And joining me is Trix. I am, of course, Zeruvian, the third member of Godrout. I had a terrible day on Monday. Let's see if this is a better day for us. What are we looking forward to from our runners on this seed, Trix?
I'm actually looking forward for some mean locations. Maybe a pet seed. I mean, having
Get
pet
out of here
seed.
with that.
Well, I mean, it's all dungeons, so it's not that bad. But maybe find some things in awful locations. At my race, we had some mids and Hera basement stuff like this. Let's say a well-hidden ice rod would make my day.
That ice rod, we did have an ice rod in possibly the worst spot to ever want to look for earlier this week in another stream. I won't spoil who it was or who came out on top, but I'll say the last place you want to see an ice rod in all dungeons is probably GT.
Yeah, probably, yes. Oh, and here we go. I expect we have one Zeng start, one Link start. Yeah, here we go.
All right, they are off. And our tracker today is going to be Nervindulge, so they'll be keeping an eye on all 4 streams. So I guess we'll be helping each other out, seeing stuff back and forth. Zeke is probably really happy to see that Cane of Samaria in Sanctuary, as will Phaaze, giving us a weapon to work with early on here. Oh, that's good information, too. Bombs on the guards are... That's so good. And bombs on the tree pole, too.
So, bombs everywhere. Which is actually pretty nice, because you can early hit the south route. Usually, of course, one player starts in Link's house, the other one starts in the Zeng, and you're looking for a weapon or bombs, so I think going the early south route is always nice, so they are lucky here. Maybe we see even an early escape. It is possible with 5 bombs.
It's absolutely something that you might see. At the very least, you can have 9 bombs, actually, if you get another tree pull here.
Oh, and there's the book. That's interesting.
MalXantholos deciding not to continue on this route, as does Drieky, both saving and quitting, and back to Link's house, I would imagine, for each of our runners here. $50 on Aghanim's Ledge. Probably not going to see Lumberjack kill for the item. We have seen a Dark World Access Seed in AD this week through Aga Tower, which is, you know, also not the worst thing, because you got to do it anyway, but come on, man.
Right, I mean, it's okay, because I think if you feel ahead, if you think you're the better team, it's actually pretty good, because the seed brings them some kind of linearity. But of course, as you said, you always have to do it, so it doesn't matter. But in best case, you'll do it right after GT. But if you have an Aga seed, you cannot do it right before GT.
So right off the bat, we're seeing some team divergence. MalXantholos is going to join Phaaze, pincering Kakariko as one goes north, the other goes south. Drieky's on South Shore and has a book. He can scope out desert if he so desires.
Yeah, well, I mean, that is a play, but still a bit risky. You don't have boots, you don't have fire sauce, you don't have a weapon, you don't have gloves. So, I don't see him going there early. Well, never mind.
That's another thing that I'm a little bit nervous about. Zeke did skip the 20 rupees that were sitting in the Thieves drop down in the forest. So right now, Zeke's not going to have the ability to buy anything unless he gets a little lucky here.
Yeah, well, I mean, we get like 350 rupees, so there's our first 20, another 5, so I think 25, and he's fine with the bottle vendor. Yeah, kind of lucky, but yeah, there are some occasions where you don't get any money. So I mean, skipping is not that... Oh, there's a hookshot on MalXantholos' side. I mean, skipping locations is not that bad, because on the other hand, your teammate's going to do it if you skip it. But if there's something important, you have to read this area. So it always have its pros and cons.
Yeah, that hookshot for MalXantholos, that's going to be pretty nice when he goes to do South Shore, because many Moldworms will just fall right over.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's a bit interesting that we have both players on the keg well right now from one team, because actually you're looking for divergence. Oh, here, worst case scenario, we have Boots Lock Desert. so it wasn't the go-to play here for Team God route. So it wasn't the God route in this case.
Well, you're still trying to learn it, but you can only know 4 moves, you know.
Yeah. So, okay. So is
Zeke
bottle
getting-
vendor important? Oh, it's a blue mail. That's handy.
Yeah, Zeke getting lucky enough to be able to buy that blue mail off the bottle merchant. Just enough money in Kakariko to make that happen. And still enough bombs to continue to make these other checks happen.
Yeah, you're right. So yeah, go ahead.
All right, so now TM32 knows about that hook shot, so that will be possibly something Drieky pops back over there for, but not really in any dire hurry to do so.
Yeah, I mean, it starts getting interesting once you have access to the mountain. So before it doesn't matter, actually it gives you an easier time for doing Minimolum Cave, but I think that's it for now. Oh well, some kinder boots, little man's boots, let's say it like this. But it's of course not that super important. Okay,
Turtle Rockers deciding now South Shore and Hyrule Castle. We're going to see the escape with that Keen of Samaria from MalXantholos.
Ooh, the mushroom is interesting. Once we get hammer, we are able to do a fake powder, so I'm not sure if we would go here for an early mushroom turn-in. So I think Phaaze the first one hitting the south route, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, out of all 4 runners, Phaaze will be the first player to make it over to Mini Moldworm Cave, which is a good set of 5 checks that we need to have some information on here. Because any of those 5 checks could be like, hey, you're going here next. And one of them could be a flute, you could have a bow, you could have...
I think we get at
quite
least...
literally nothing.
I think we get at least one piece for Darkwell access here, because we are not having that many locations left. See, there are gloves.
Yeah, and the gloves are great because it opens up the back of Escape as well. And there's your Moon Pearl.
Second piece, so... And I mean, it's very good for Turtle Rockers to find to find the gloves right now, because if MalXantholos finding here a small key, he might be tempted to go through Dark Cross, but it would be a bit faster if we go from the back. Oh, there's a French vanilla bloomerang. So this was actually good timing there, because I think if you find a small key there, your team doesn't have a glove yet, you definitely feel tempted to go to the back. Alright, then we have getting a look at Iceward Cave. Do you expect Phaaze to do fake flipper after this one? I mean, he has the pearl, he can take the hobo and the fairy. Would you go for it?
I feel like you at least go to Waterfall here. At the very least, get the 2 items out of the Waterfall and maybe swim back over to the man under the bridge. You might peek the Zora item, but with only 50 rupees and no way to splash your lead, I don't think you enter Zora's domain proper.
Yeah, it's some kind of coin flip, right?
Oh, let's go back of Escape first, which is, far and away the correct play.
And we all see something on the early mushroom, mostly yes, in this case. Ooh, there's Fire Rod. So this takes Dark Cross into logic.
Did we see the map in Escape?
Not really sure. Yes,
well,
no, we did.
So we now know there is an item in Dark Cross.
Yeah, right.
And it is in logic too, so we'll probably see Phaaze do this reverse.
I think the chances are very high that there's an item. That there's a progression item, because with that Fire Rod, that's the only thing that puts the Fire Rod right now puts in logic. I mean, if we're having a bow and a non-vanilla Eastern Bicky, so Amos Nice would be also in logic with the Fire Rod, but in the current situation, it looks at least a bit suspicious there.
I would just, for sake of argument, just think about this for a moment, though. We haven't seen Sahasrahla yet either.
Oh, you're right. I think I was like, why is MalXantholos skipping chest there? But yeah, of course it's co-op. So, yeah, it's so important in this mode. You said earlier this week you also... Oh, there's just 50 bucks in the in Dark Cross. You said earlier this week that you've been playing co-op as well, right? So...
Yeah, Zeke and I played against these guys on Monday. It was actually Phaaze and Namefaker were the players that we played up against.
Yet, I think that's kind of a totally different game because this information sharing is so important. Because if your runners on a very high level, it's really depending how you pass the information to your mate. Because some people are say, go to minimal cares, there's something important, and top runners will say go to the left chest, third chest, and skip the rest of it. Because if you're on a high level, the game is close. I think those minor checks can definitely make a difference there. So we've seen it on Turtle Rocker's side that MalXantholos only opened, I think, 2 chests in Minimal Home Cave.
Yeah, he opened what he knew was going to be stuff that he needed to glove, and the Moon Pearl specifically. Oh, are we going to see a mountain play from Phaaze?
Ooh.
Let's go. I like this, because you can get a lamp pretty much anywhere at this point.
Yeah, or flute, it doesn't matter really, but I expect something lamp or flute at Sasha. So otherwise, I think only thing we have left is Eastern and Zora, who's in Logic as well with the glove.
Yeah, of course, Zora with his big old premium, 100 rupees for Drieky, 100 rupees for Phaaze, 60 and 48. I don't think anyone's anywhere close to paying that $500 fine. But we do have a stun prize of 20, so it's not going to be real hard to get there.
Oh, that's nice. I didn't see the stun prize. Well, the problem is here you can share information, but you cannot share rupees, so you have to get the 500 on your own. And
you can't write Zora an IOU either. I mean, come on.
Yeah. And it's a 25% chance that there is progression on Zora, actually, because the only thing we haven't seen yet is Zora and Eastern.
We did see the map, by the way. We got 2 pendants in the light world. They're both the non-green, so the green pendant's somewhere else.
Oh, I didn't see the map. Oh, and there's a bottle. This is some kind of awful location because, again, both teams know there's not so many progression left, and now you have to go for only 1 check there to check the sick hit. You cannot skip this. See the problem for Turtle Rockers right now, and probably will be the problem for Godrod as well. Well, most likely for Turtle Rockers, because Phaaze has to go now to sick hit, because MalXantholos is getting the information from Eastern. So
right, that's going to be the same problem for Zeke and Drieky now. Is Zeke is going to go pick up that bottle and probably hook over. So what Drieky and MalXantholos are probably going to find here is our logic to put either the Dark World into play, or I don't.
Oh, I forgot about the right side of the mountain. So
yeah, we've got Paradox Cave and stuff yet. So the biggest problem here is the mountain's not currently in Logic, and we're only 1 piece away from that. But if you get Dark World access, your lamp or flute could be anywhere in the Dark World.
Right. So but I think next progression will be, I feel it's the lamp in Eastern.
Oh, I'm going to say it's the lamp on Zora.
I mean, there's a map, so...
so the rest of this Eastern Palace is out of Logic.
Yeah, right. It has to be Zora. And actually, Zora is now very important because you know there's progression. If it's the lamp, you're fine because you already have a 5 slots with a fire rod, but it could be also flute or a hammer, so or the mids. So Zora is really, it's awful now.
Yeah, I think both teams are probably going to come to that realization very, very swiftly here. Everything Zeke and Phaaze are doing is out of Logic behind whatever's in Zora's pockets, I guess. Do fish have pockets?
I don't know. Maybe somewhere.
And Drieky pulls the boots out of Eastern.
This is... I actually see MalXantholos maybe leaving Eastern, but I'm not a big fan of skipping things in co-op.
Yeah, skipping things that your opponent can't easily get back to is kind of a big deal. Like, you can probably jump out of a Kakariko if you find a flute, a boots, or anything that pushes you away from Kakariko. Say your teammate finds a glove and you want to do back of escape, but they're also still doing a handful of checks. The boots here, leading to our first sword, and nothing else on the mountain.
We can... You know what's also interesting? We can do desert now.
We have glove, fire source, and a weapon for Lamo that isn't the fire
look,
rod.
Right. So actually, we have everything there. I would do this now because I kind of feel that Zora has the lamp. So this means there has to be progression on in desert, right? Because we haven't seen a single item there.
I'm gonna take that bet. By the way, I'm gonna say Zora has the hammer.
Ooh. Well, let's see if there's something on the bottle because it's actually pretty important. If Zora has the lamp, then progression might be here. No, it's just
Drieky got the mountain spawn, which is probably the right thing to do here. Now they do need to figure out how they're going to get the money to to make the check for Zora. And this could just be, is Drieky... Where is Drieky? Drake's going to go get his mushroom. He's got to go get the mushroom to turn in for Fire Rod.
Oh, that's good. MalXantholos picked up the boots, and I think when you're playing co-op, I think boots and flute are the items where you say to your teammate, "Go there right away." You always go there because boots really make a difference.
So I'm seeing discussion in chat. One of the viewers wants to know why we're not going just to the rupee room in the back of Eastern. And part of that is the stun prize is $20. That's a big part.
Yeah,
and
right.
You can easily kind of just waste time trying to get to that room because Drieky didn't even have a fire source. So finding the door, finding all the rupees can actually be a little bit slower than the alternative here.
And how much is it? Is like 80 or 90?
It's not that much, right? 2 sets of 9, so it's 90.
Oh, okay.
Of course, the Houlihan is 225, so even then, it's not enough to really push you to that 500 rupee limit that we know we need for Zora.
I think it makes perfectly sense if you go to do Lemo and afterwards you set up a Houlihan and, well, unless there is no progression on the desert, but I mean, I see Drieky is already farming some rupees. Imagine we're not having a stun price of 20 rupees, that would have been fun.
So Zeke is not going to have boss music on Moldorm, but he is going to have 225 rupees in the pocket. I'm pretty sure Godrod at this point knows that what they're looking for, regardless of what it may be, is going to be on Zora, and it's a logical pointer that they need to actually follow through with here.
Yeah, you're right, but I think I would have preferred to do Desert first. Because it's only 1/3 chance that there is... Well, no, that's not true. But we have now 2 more items and you have to finish Desert anyway, so... so I just could have the lamp. So, but he has to... It's actually hammer, mitts, or lamp, right? That's it.
I mean, it would have to be hammer, mitts, or lamp at this point.
Ooh, there's powder.
And that powder doesn't do anything for us yet either.
Ah, you're right. Still no hammer. In my mind, we already have the hammer from Zora.
See, and this is why I'm a little bit leery about the desert play. You need to clear the dungeon anyway, but with only 2 items, I still feel like if you're holding off on doing Zora, it's a pretty big gamble. Yeah. If Zora happens to have a major piece of Dark World access, whether that's your hammer or your mitts in this case.
I mean, we know Zora has to have something. We know this. Is MalXantholos skipping the big chest? He's going straight into the back, right?
And this is a reasonable 50-50 kind of play. You'll want to clear the boss either way. If the item's on the boss, you don't have to go back to the big chest. Although walking right past it, I don't know.
Yeah, right. Walking right past, that's the point. I think if you go with a mirror, flute, and mitts, and go enter Desert West and then do the mirror after being on Desert Right side, I think this is fine, but I don't know.
Actually, our tracker is pointing out, thank you to Redulch, the small key was in the big chest, because we were at a Bootslock Desert.
Oh. You are totally right, thank you.
Mal realizing I probably want those rupees, and promptly hooking them up. And Zeke is going to hit this rupee room in the back of Eastern before grabbing his boots. I love this.
Yeah.
Exactly 500. Isn't that
500.
satisfying? That's so
Yeah.
satisfying.
That's satisfying. You know, it would also be fun if we have a lamp in on Zora, and we have the cape on Lemmo.
Don't.
So then it's
No, don't.
so
We'll
if you
find out in
find
just a moment.
Oh, no magic anymore on MalXantholos' side.
Yeah, Mal's gonna be
Fighters
down
sword.
to just good old. Well, I'm not good with the bow, so I guess I use the sword now. Tactics.
Well, bull would be fun because MalXantholos has been training a lot of NMG lately. Oh, so
Oh,
Zora.
the progression is Zora, and it's not the lamp.
Right, it's not the lamp. It has to be hammer or mids at this point.
Yeah, I'm calling it's hammer. I'm telling you, it's just hammer.
Just.
Just hammer. And Phaaze will find out for us very shortly here. Zeke's about to pick up
Yeah.
his boots. I feel like you can't leave these boots for too long. You
No,
kind of
no,
have to
no.
get them.
Surely. I mean, you can only combine it once you have the bow to finish the dungeon, but I mean, the bow can be
Oh my
anywhere.
gosh.
So.
Chat's now calling for flippers on Zora, and there is one flippers check we did not see made, and that's on the hobo under the bridge.
Right.
Oh.
I think in this case, flippers could have been a more reasonable play to do it before. Sorry, fake flipper, because you know there are only some locations left or something.
I mean, if we have a visible item too, it could just be flippers on Zora to hammer on Zora ledge, and no way to splash delete it with this gear. I mean, you can splash delete with. Speaking of, here is the hobo check, just to make darn sure.
And
it's hat magic. That's a pretty nice piece of equipment to have.
Definitely. Nothing.
Probably only one person per team will pick it up, though.
Yeah, right. I'm always happy if I'm the one. Oh, MalXantholos going to grab the rock here. Is it quicker? I mean, you have to consider the way to get here, right?
I mean, at 50 rupees a piece, this is probably a little more consistent than hoping to kill enemies, although screen scrolling with a sword between Mini Moldrum Cave and Flute 7 would probably be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
You get Octoroks and Crabs all die to one slash.
I really would love to see the shovel on Zora.
Oh, don't say that.
the shovel would be so fun.
Oh, Phaaze getting piece of heart refilled and breaks the water walk. Come on, man.
I mean, it doesn't hurt you that much because he has a Merle, but if
the hammer, so the flippers are on Zora.
Oh my god.
Now wait, the flippers might still. That could just be mitts on Zora.
Could be still, yeah, it could be still mitts.
Wait, if that's mitts on Zora, then we're just in a flipper hunt to put the rest of the seed in. Oh my goodness, this is so silly.
Yeah, come on, give us something on the ledge. No, just heartbeats.
And you know Zeke's gonna get whatever this progression piece is. And did Zeke go into waterfall?
Yeah, he got the hammer.
Okay, so we have hammer for both teams hitting Zora simultaneously, and Zora has the
flips. This is funny.
So we have with extra steps.
Oh, a lot of extra steps. Well, it's actually one extra step, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's an extra step. Go get your flippers and then swim back to waterfall.
Okay, I give you the credits.
So now wait a minute. Remember earlier you were calling for them to do the fake flipper, especially with the Moon Pearl and Mini Moldworm Cave. You look like a genius right now.
Thanks. Well, actually, it kind of burned you because I mean, well, not at all because you know Zora has to have something at this point, and I don't see that it could have been a big advantage. Maybe you could somehow combine the powder with the bottle, but I think that's it.
So both teams now just kind of bottlenecked big time by this Zora fiasco, I guess you could say. We are seeing that it is absolutely a no hype for anybody cave on Phaaze's side. Zeke has decided to take it to Kakariko Village. We're going to see Sick Kid from him probably go into Village of Outcasts. Drieky did follow Zeke, picked up the half magic, and is now going to go get his hammer. What's MalXantholos doing? getting his hammer. Okay.
Yeah, he hasn't got it yet.
So we have Thieves and Skull are on the table for our runners here.
Yeah, and I'm not sure about Zeke and Drieky's skill level because I mean it's Invitational League, so probably good at it, but it's not the best equipment for fighting the moth, right? And we were still on green mail. Ah, no, we have blue mail.
Yeah, we have blue mail. So this is a blue 6 if Zeke decides that he wants to pay a visit to Zora. Not Zora. We've already done that. If he wants to pay a visit to Mothula.
Oh, well, no, there's still green mail on Drieky's side and also on MalXantholos' side. Where did you find the blue mail again?
Blue mail was on the Bottle Merchant.
Ah, okay.
I'm a little concerned at... Phaaze has got to go get his fire rod, so he needs this mushroom out of escape. I was like, what's Phaaze doing in Harrow Castle? Zeke with no money in Village of Outcasts, because he had exactly 500 for Zora.
All right. Phaaze going to get his mushroom as well. It's a bit hard to follow for screams at one time, right?
Oh, Zeke's probably really happy to see that blue potion just now. And, remembering that we have the powder, MalXantholos paying a visit to Magic Bat.
I think something Zeke has forgotten about, or didn't he grab the powder? Where was the powder again? And wasn't it in? No, it wasn't in desert. Was it in desert?
Drieky has the powder because it was in desert. It was on the right side of desert in the compass chest.
Wow, one single arrow.
Is it great? Wait, what is Magic Bat doing with the arrow of Great Justice?
I know. Maybe, I'm not sure. What is Zeke doing? Getting the 5 rupees there? I don't get why he did this.
I mean, it's a slow but sure... If I'm Zeke, I feel like you start picking things off with your stun prize here.
Yeah.
Now,
by the way, sorry, go on.
No, you go ahead.
I was saying I really like the early Pyron play by Drieky because this is even co-op. It's a place you kind of put off for for a while. So this is pretty. I really like this.
Forget just Pyramid. Drieky's going all the way to Catfish.
Oh. I mean, if you don't do it now, you have to wait to combine with the red bomb, and we have no clue right now what the red crystals are. So if there's some piece of progression, that's pretty big.
I want to be really mad right now. I want to be so mad. That was Mitts in Thieves Town.
Oh, did you see MalXantholos?
Yeah, that was Mitts in Thieves Town for Zeke. Malzahn, also a little short on cash, is going to pick up his blue potion here in Brewery, and I think Zeke and Mal are probably going to be following each other in Thieves Town for a moment. Yeah, we have a book, and no one's read the pedestal yet, but it's all dungeons. The pedestal's not something to really put out of our mind entirely.
To answer question in chat, if you do early fake flipper, if there's a big chance to isolate Zora, yes and no. I would say in co-op, actually there's not a big chance to isolate Zora because with the combined information, you know that there's progression on Zora. At least it's mids or as we've seen the flipper. So I think in co-op we are fine. If you're playing the seed on your own, there's a chance because you don't do, for example, checks like Egina then if this is your Dark World access. So you know there's something hiding somewhere, but I don't see any purpose doing this in co-op.
Yeah, in a solo seed, there's a really high chance because you're going to make that call to go to Waterfall every time.
Right.
But if you're only looking for flippers for Go and you've got literally every dungeon, we see Swamp is a crystal, so at least it's not GT's just not on the table. Ice can't be it either. But we also saw where for these 4 runners, resources were kind of sparse outside of the stun prize.
Yeah.
So Drieky's going to pick up those mitts. I don't know what you do with the mitts here. Drieky also has no money going to do now. Ooh.
I think you maybe do some parts of the Smith chain, at least one of the runners for one team, so...
Yeah, Smith chain's what bit everybody on Monday, so I'm imagining that it's going to be in all 4 of our players' minds today. And Drieky is going to read the pedestal.
Oh!
I think
There's
if you have book and you're taking this hammer route to Dark World, you kind of have to, don't you?
I don't know, because you do dependence anyways. So
Yeah, but I mean, it could be a number of things based on your pendant layout. In this situation, you could have it could be mirror or something on pedestal, and you just wouldn't know
yeah.
until you go to read it.
Ooh, MalXantholos has to use a bottle here already.
Yeah, that blue potion might have been nicer for Moth, but you would really rather not die in Thieves
Yeah.
Town because that is such a costly amount of time to lose.
Ooh, and that was, by the way, a very good moth fight by Phaaze. Just getting the map and the first crystal of the game.
Yeah, that's our first crystal, our second prize between any of our runners. Obviously, we have 2 deserts done by Drieky and MalXantholos, but that was a pendant dungeon.
Right. Well, actually, if I look at the pendant layout, it was actually quite a good call to read the pet, because pet is in logic. Well,
Yeah, pet could be quite a number of things for us
with
right
the
now.
lamp. With the lamp, it's in logic. But, yeah, it's a good point. If there's a... Of course, you want to combine it, in best case, with the mirror, fire rod, do the moth, and check the pet afterwards or before. But if there's a mirror sitting on the pet, you might be in trouble.
All right, and that is a green pendant for Zeke out of Thieves Town with MalXantholos, only about a minute or so behind, and picking up rupees as he goes through, which is a smart call.
Yeah. There's still some guys we have to pay.
Oh, did I not just say picking up rupees as you go through, and he just left 20 just sitting there. Nice payout for... Speaking of the
Well,
mirror...
there's the mirror.
So now Smith Chain's just absolutely free.
Yeah. I at least one runner has to do it for each team.
You know, actually, I see a situation where Zeke just does Smith Chain down to Swamp here.
Oh, right. Swamp's also in logic.
Because Drieky can do the north route of Village of Outcasts. You can easily go back to do Skullwoods anytime if there's nothing in it that you need.
Yeah.
Especially if the flute just shows up somewhere later in the seed.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, and there's Ether in Skullwoods.
Their first medallion. We probably need that for either Meyer or TR, but we won't know until we get up the mountain to check those, or a flute for the Meyer region.
It's actually good to have it, yeah. Because looking for medallions is also a pain. I mean, looking for the... If you have the same medallion for both dungeons, I think it's fine, but looking for just the Maya medallion, this might be awful.
Yeah, for just one medallion in Knowledge, I don't think you go out of your way to go get it just yet, especially since it's a dungeon you're not diving.
Yeah.
Alright, Phaaze also takes down Blind, so he'll have his green pendant and his mirror in just a second with the 38 rupees he's sitting on.
Yeah, I mean, finding the mirror in Village of Outcast, having the mitts and the hammer, this is predestined to do the Smith Chain. This is awesome, actually.
It also tells us, though, that the progression for that early game was intended linear.
Yeah.
Oh, get back in there. You want that. You want that so hard.
Oh, yeah. And this is now a very good routing. You can do Swamp. You could then you go to the eastern area, turn on the green pendant, do eastern pot together. This is really good now.
That's solid.
I mean, you could even do Ice Palace if you'd like to, but I wouldn't. Well, we have the Samaria, why not?
I mean, you could go into low percent ice right out of Swamp and then swim up to do... You could take the portal at 5 to go straight to
yeah.
Eastern. Like, you would have to run to that spot either way.
Yeah, well,
Oh.
technically, I mean, you can get to ice quite quickly, just going through the portal. So
That's true.
maybe I would do Swamp, Eastern Port, and then go to ice.
And it really depends, especially if you want to divert.
Yeah, I mean, ice is the only dungeon where you'd like to have a better sword. I mean, we have half magic and fire rod. This is pretty cool, but I mean, for Eastern Potter Swamp, you don't need really better weapons than that you already have. Oh, there's another bow in Skullwoods.
So Zeke, having found a bow, knows that he's going to have silvers if he decides to go left side front of Skullwoods later in the seed. which is, it's really nice to have if our swords don't like to show up anywhere nice. Right now, we don't know where any of the swords are.
I totally missed the first bow in Skullwoods, actually. Did you see it?
No,
I saw it
actually.
on Drieky's side. So actually Phaaze has been there because those are his silvers. Yeah, well.
You get a peek at the $300 sitting on the bumper ledge, so we're not looking for a cape, so to speak, here. And Zeke is going to run this purple chest back to... Now, if in this situation, would you read Bombos before or after you've done Swamp Palace?
I think I'll do it after, because Swamp is always a sword, right?
Well, they say, anyway.
I'm pretty sure.
So Phaaze has the silvers and made... I don't think we've seen the Turtle Rockers do a catfish check just yet. So we might see Phaaze go up to catfish and then decide what to do next.
Yeah, I think so.
And Zeke decides he wants to read this Bombos tablet now, and we find out it is as dead as a doornail. It's actually just as bad as the pedestal.
It's again couch cash, yeah. You're right. So I think the next plays are quite obvious. So it's a pretty linear seat so far. And speaking again of linear seats, as you're a member of Team TN32 God Route, are you hoping for a linear seat or not? Because if you think you're the better team, I think having linearity and bottleneck seats is quite good. But do you think this is an advantage or disadvantage for your team?
I actually feel like the best way to tackle a linear type of seat is to have the kind of divergence you're seeing that Turtle Rockers is doing right now, where one player has gone into a clearable Palace of Darkness with a mirror to do Eastern Palace, and the other one is doing exactly what Zeke's doing. And instead of kind of splitting your route like that, as I'm seeing a lot of teams do this all week too in both leagues,
right?
Is you'll have one team do a ton of divergence, and then the other team will just kind of chase the progression that the first team found. In Drieky's case, you kind of have to, because this is the mitts we're talking about. The mitts and the mirror are both very important items.
Right.
But at the same time, you'd like your runners to not be in the same spot as the other one just was.
Right. So
if you're tailing your teammate the entire way through, then you end up actually losing time if you're both late to the information that the other team already had.
I mean, it somehow depends, right? I mean, if you're doing co-op, I think it's less attractive to skip checks, but also you shouldn't do a full clear of the game, right? So at some point you have to do a skip, but if you skip something important, this is pretty painful. So well, to summarize, you're happy what your teammates are doing, right?
I think it's fine, but I do want to see Drieky do something that isn't run down Smith Chain to Swamp after he finishes off these 10 here. We might see North Dark World, actually. We might see the Mountain. We might see him join Phaaze and Pod. I haven't seen anything out of Pod yet, but we know there's 4 keys in front, so there's plenty of time for it to, just be silly.
I think you even can go to Dark Death Mountain. We have Hookshot Cave there. I mean, it's still not logic because there's either Lamb or Flute, but there's Hookshot Cave, and maybe you can enter Turtle Rock.
You might be able to enter Turtle Rock, but you don't have the Ice Rod, so that's a risky maneuver either way.
Yeah, definitely, but maybe. Why not? So.
And at this point, too, even though you know it's either Lamp or Flute, if you find one or the other on the mountain, you know the other one's down in the lower world either way. So I feel like pushing the mountain to get your information for TR, if you can brute force Spike Cave while you're up there and just clean up all of what's left. And we have Hera that none of our runners have been able to get to, and that also in logic with a Lamp or a Flute in knowledge, so plenty of places where more progression could yet be.
Yeah. By the way, what's your opinion on skipping or doing left side Swamp in co-op?
I feel like the first runner into Swamp has to do it if it's this early.
Yeah, okay, I agree.
That way the second runner knows that they don't have to ever.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree there. In my seat this week, we had Vanilla Big Key with Boots and the Big Chest. Oh, there's a Flute. So Skipping is so dangerous here.
Right, so we know the flute's in the lower world. The lamp can be pretty much anywhere that's not blocked by darkness now. That's a nice find for Phase 2, as a Master Sword
Yeah,
and
there's
Palace of
Master
Darkness.
And as we know, at least one other sword was going to be at Swamp, because there are always swords, right? That's what we agreed on, I think.
I mean,
Oh, did you see what MalXantholos is doing? He's doing the hookshot clip. It's pretty dangerous.
one of
Because
the little swaggy clips there, yeah.
yeah, but if you mess this up, you have to mirror, right?
And we're seeing Drieky save and quit out of Peg Cave after picking up silvers, so we might be seeing Mountain. No, we're seeing...
Ice, maybe?
This is either Ice or Pod, I have to say.
Or Swamp.
We are running right, and then we are running down. This is Ice from Drieky.
Yeah.
Drieky did not do Magic Bat. Probably because I don't know.
Why?
I wonder if
Well,
he's spaced
Magic Bat, there's
on
only
the,
one arrow. Didn't both teams did it?
No, Zeke doesn't have the powder because he hasn't been in a desert.
Oh.
So that's a check that
Alright.
Drieky consciously left to go to a dungeon, and I get it because you want to A, B, C, D either way.
Yeah,
There's
so
two
it's...
swords in Palace of Darkness. Gross.
Oh.
Did we see another sword from Phaaze? Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Ooh. Down to half a heart without a lamp. I think it's going... He has to death warp here. Yeah, that's what he's doing.
So we saw one sword in the Rupee basement. Okay, the other one was in Dark Maze. Thank you, Tutor.
Okay. Oh, Zeke is a bit struggling here with Argus. I mean, it's not a very convenient fight with the Phaaze sword because you have to do like double spins on it. Double spin hit.
Yeah, and
Oh,
if you
yeah.
end up poking one of the Argai, it can get a little out of hand really fast here for pretty much
it's
anyone of any runner caliber.
Nobody likes this fight, right?
Yeah, it's a terrible fight. Mal is going to have the same setup here. And still, he still takes a hit from one of the Argai, so as you can see, it's not an easy fight. And can get out of control kind of fast, but you can also rally it right back in, too.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's not easy, but Zeke's doing quite good job with the fire right here. So, and
let's check this out. We're seeing MalXantholos for a moment employed a fire rod shot to take one of the Argai out.
If you're like super good with the fire rod, I think it's probably one of the biggest techniques if you're on Fighter Saw, but you have to be, this has to be on point.
And
So...
our last sword is in the Ice Big Chest.
Oh. So probably none of the runners will get the Butter Sword, I think.
No, because one of those swords is going to be a bit out of the way. I don't think there was anything else in Dark Maze other than that Tempered Sword that we saw. Where is Zeke going? MalXantholos picks up his crystal right behind Zeke here. Zeke might be going to...
I guess to the Skullwoods.
Right.
Maybe?
I don't know if you
Skullwoods hit.
I don't know if you clean up Skullwoods here. He's got to have... Maybe he's doing North Dark World?
I think it's Skullwoods into Dark World. I mean, you have to do it anyway, Skullwoods, and it doesn't matter if you do it now or in, I don't know, 20 minutes, so...
I still think it's faster to come back here with a flute if you know there's nothing but ether in Skullwoods.
Ah, right, there's no flute. Oh,
Yeah,
and your team didn't see the flute yet.
Right, so I don't like this call by any means. If one player's already done it and there was nothing of dire importance in here, why are you here?
Yeah, I agree. Well, here's a bow, so maybe he's interested in having the silvers. Yeah, I don't fully understand it. I mean, if you know, maybe the ether's required. I don't know. If you guys have the flute and you know I'm going to do Vidi now, so, and I'm a Fighter Squad, sure, I go to do Skullwoods and grab my silvers, but I mean, that's it, right? So...
Yeah, I didn't see anything of deep value in ice, so now that Drieky and Zeke have pretty much told each other they can go mode respective ice swamp,
Yeah.
Well, they might not think that yet, since neither runner has been to Palace of Darkness, so they have no idea on the sword situation.
And I think I was about to say we're going to see Mountain play by Zeke, but he's doing something else.
Gonna go do King's Tomb, since
King's
that's
Tomb, right,
kind
yeah.
of... No?
Haven't we seen Bonk Rocks?
Bonkrox is where everyone got their first sword.
Right. Where's Zeke going? It's a bit of a miracle to me.
So Mal and Phaaze, Phaaze having already taken out Palace of Darkness, has the sword knowledge, and now the advantage for Turtle Rockers is the offense and the knowledge of the flute. They can clean these two up and have no problem with that. Zeke might be doing North Dark World here, and I don't mind it, but I still feel like you've got to go after density, not what we're doing.
Yeah, I think most promising player right now is going up the mountain. So what Drieky's doing. So I mean, if you're doing co-op at some point, you have to follow your buddy's footsteps. But I'm not sure. It looks a bit smoother on Turtle Rocker's side, right? Somehow.
Yeah, at the moment, Turtle Rockers is just systematically cleaning stuff up here, and for Zeke and Drieky, it could be big. This could be like a medallion that you might need, an ice rod. It could be literally the lamp, which you wouldn't want, but we already know where all the swords are, and there's really not much else that they could possibly need in this situation. So making these couple checks right now is kind of puzzling to me when you have an entire pod to do that's full clearable. You can possibly go up the mountain. That's Spike Cave logic, so Drieky now knows he needs to do that.
Yeah, I mean, by the way, where did we get the flute from again?
The flute is right here in pod. Mel just picked it up, and Phaaze has had it. So that's Ether for TR, by the way.
Ah, you're right. That's good. I'm a bit surprised. Why is nobody from the God Route teams going to pod at this point?
Now, maybe we're allergic to Palace of Darkness?
Yeah,
you got it. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. You have everything you need to go clear pod. Why aren't you guys going to pod, man? Come on. One of you has to do it.
I mean, technically, you're not having it because you're lacking of the lamp, but you're right. I mean, those runners shouldn't care of the lamp, so why don't you go there?
Who cares about the lamp? The lamp's just in TR.
Yeah. Who cares about the lamp? My last season's team name was No Lamp No Go Mode, so we care.
Oh, I know.
But I think lamp's going to be. I call Hookshot Cave.
I think lamp's in pod. Did Drieky pick up Samaria and Sanctuary? He's got to, right? He's got to have Samaria.
Yeah, but no whites in pod. No, we see a full clear pod from face sides, so there's no lamp.
Lamp's not in pod. Lamp is also not in Eastern and logically cannot be. And Drieky going to Spike Cave? Drieky also found a cape up here on the mountain. Are we doing Hera first? We're gonna do Hera first, which is fine.
So,
yeah, Ether as well while you're up here.
And is it again Couch Cash? And it is. It is. Okay, we don't see it. Couch Cash is a 20, right? Okay. Anyways.
Well, it's a little extra bit of love. Yeah. We do have this Hera, which is pretty okay. It's 2 items and the last pendant.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but we didn't find any progression on the mountain, right? Neither Death Mountain nor Doctor's Mountain.
So far, no. There's been nothing of any value on the mountain. And TM32 does not know the mountains in logic until Zeke finds that flute in the back of pod.
I think it hurts a bit to find the flute right now because it is quite there for a long time, and it's a full clearable crystal dungeon, and none of your, neither your teammates has gotten it yet. So this doesn't feel well. It's kind of a team's last location, right?
Yeah, logical last location maybe.
Yeah, right. To some extent, yeah.
I mean, flute could just be in Mire too. Not flute, lamp. Lamp could just be in Mire.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure at this point it has to be there because we've seen all the other checks. It has to be Checkerboard Cave or... Was anything... The flute wasn't lamp locked, right?
No, wasn't the flute just freestanding in Pod?
Yeah,
it
I
was.
think
It was
so.
in Turtle Room, right?
I think so.
Drieky's taking care of mold armor. Do we see an item coming up here? Because I don't. Because the big key is locked in the basement.
I didn't pay attention yet.
See, you're at that crossroads as a co-op team. Whether or not you want to actually do Hera basement, if you hadn't seen both items, and leave an item in the big chest, we'll see if Drieky makes that decision.
Yeah.
He is going to leave, so I'm going to imagine we did not. We're
don't
doing
think
Spike Cave.
I don't think there's an item at this point you don't skip it. Because again, it's a co-op and you're checking things so quickly and yeah. You shouldn't go for those kind of skips. Well, still it's Terror Basement, takes some time. Well,
So, something I saw, or I'm currently seeing, that I can't say I'm necessarily thrilled about, instead of going and activating your flute, going to Meyer, seeing if you're looking for another medallion, because this could have been just go mode for Turtle Rockers if you just find the ice rod, right?
Yeah, you have to do this.
Yeah, so we're doing ice instead for Phaaze.
I mean, it's okay because you know you're looking at least for one item, and I mean Turtle Rockers don't know that ether is required for Turtle Rock, so they kind of suspect that they may be looking worst case for 2 medallions. So I understand that play here, but as soon as it's done, I would go to activate the flute and check the Maya medallion, because if you can enter, it's fine, you go there. If not, there are 3 other checks you can check. So
I just feel like it would make sense for Phaaze to go do that, seeing as Mal's already done Desert, and Phaaze still needs to clean that up anyway.
right, it's pretty. Yeah, you can pretty much hit it together. So, and what I like now very much is that Drieky's going into Turtle Rock. I really like the play.
Because this could be huge, because regardless of where the lamp is for our logic, because our lamp's blocking just enough to be a little inconvenient here. We could very well see a medallion for Meyer or an ice rod just sitting here in Turtle Rock.
I think Ice Rod is maybe the best thing for the team. Because medallion, I'm not sure. Oh, Phaaze has to. Oh my gosh! Did you just see that? It was so close.
And he's still just hanging on by half heart here. That tempered sword, that gold sword, is very nice for this fight. But as soon as Cold Stare gets away from you, this turns into a nightmare real fast.
Yeah.
Oh no!
This is unfortunate. I mean, you have the cape. Why don't you use it here on gold sword? You can easily finish a Cold Stare. Oh, there's the Ice Rod. Oh, those are 2 very good news for the God Rod team.
Yeah, and Phaaze is leaving Ice Palace now. He does have an active flute, so he's going up the mountain. Oh boy, this is kind of, it's a shifty situation for Turtle Rockers. Only because now you have to dive into ice again to get that crystal if you're Phaaze later on. This is also kind of good for Turtle Rockers here, that you're going to go up the mountain and get your ice rod and TR. So that's one less thing you have to look for. But that means Mal's job now is to go over to Meyer.
Exactly, he has to. I would say but I actually don't like that Phaaze is leaving now. Ice, because he's there, he has some magic, he can go back into it, so, and he has to finish it anyways. I mean, equipment won't get any better, or that much better, right? So, I don't see why you leave this behind at this point.
Yeah, I feel like the amount of time it's not a hard traversal back to Ice Palace, but I feel like if you have the ability to clear it, you have to clear it.
Right, I mean...
Taking the death or not, because you've added time having to go back to it now.
I mean, with the flute, it's maybe 30 seconds to get there, but maybe if you're not lucky, depending where you are, it's another mirror transition, so I don't see why you should skip this. By the way, did we see the Maya medallion from MalXantholos?
Not just yet, I don't think.
So,
or did we? It says Bombos, according to our restreamer today, Arturil. Thank you, Artie, for putting us on.
Yeah, thanks, man. So this means Bombos for Go mode.
Yeah,
it
and
has
Bombos could very well just be on Laser Bridge or Mimic Cave or right here under the doormat and Checkerboard. We won't. Well, it's not in Checkerboard because we just saw Mal walk out of it.
well, what I ask myself is, where's the lamp? it has to be, if I'm not mistaken, it has to be Mimic Cave, Rock Big Chest, or Crystal Roller Room.
It could
I
be in
think
Hera Big Chest too, because we haven't. Well, it depends. Did we see both items in Hera? I don't know if we ever got the answer for that.
I'm also not sure.
By the way, make sure you follow these runners. This Invitational Week 1. This is our first weekend of the league. Hope everyone's been having fun so far.
There's the lamp. Sorry.
The lamp's at Mimic Cave. Okay,
Cave.
fine. Technically, it's part of Turtle Rock. You know.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Sorry that I interrupt you, but yeah, follow these runners. They're putting on the great show. There's very good teams involved here, so give them a follow. And if you're some kind of desperate, you can also follow me and my co-com.
You want to follow me if you want to watch me play entrance and get very mad at myself, you can do that. But by all means, follow anybody that's on the screen here. Follow anybody that you watch playing League this season, whether it's Open League or Invitational League. We have a vast array of fantastic talent all across the board. This is just week 1. We've got 7 weeks of content coming for you guys, and if you really think about it, it's more like 9 with SGL in person and Thanksgiving in America kind of bisecting 2 weeks for us. So next week we got Ambrosia.
Right. I'm not looking forward to this mode.
No,
I don't
why
like
not?
it at all. No, I'm not sure. But by the way, sorry if I interrupt here. There's the new Herapod set up by Phaaze. Do you know this?
I don't know this one. I'm still using Phillypot if I'm not spending 2 minutes trying to get the hook speed.
This is actually pretty nice because there you don't have the issue with the subpixels. You know, because sometimes the Herapod is failing under certain circumstances, and with the new setup, it never fails. So it's pretty, and it's very easy to learn because you just place a bomb and you run into it. So, and then you're on the correct position.
We also did not see the Turtle Rockers go get whatever was, the big key. So I still don't know if there's an item in the big chest, and I would hate for that to be Bombos. But we also did not see it in Turtle Rock thus far.
Yeah, Bombos is now in Hera, or it is on Trinex.
Backdoor strats from Drieky with a Master Sword.
Wow.
You get 4 slashes in here, which is pretty cool. It's a little bit less reliable in terms of actual fight timing than having the hammer.
Wow,
but if you have that kind of skill, you just do it. So those of you wondering what MSU we're hearing today, it is it's Zeke's audio. Where did I hear Drake from? Wow.
Drake.
Zeke is using the Grand Poo World 2 MSU, of which the full track listing can be found on the MSU creators' website at msu.studio.
Oh, there's an official site for this. I didn't know this.
Well, it's the group that does some of these MSUs. This particular list was done by Moogle Charm and Company and is published separately from the MSU list on the main Discord.
Ah, that's cool. By the way, are you ready for some bad news? Guess our Bombos is.
Yeah, it's not great that TR being a 5-6, Eastern being the other 5-6, so we're down to either Hera or... Actually, it's more than likely Pyramid Fairy here.
Ah, right. Totally forgot about this one. It's so difficult to tell who's ahead because there are 4 runners going different routes, so it's pretty hard to follow, but they're putting on a great show, I would say. So really
I'm going to give a slight edge to Turtle Rockers here because they've had the flute for longer.
Yeah.
And Drieky is about to go get his flute and at least 1 more sword, which is great for comfort when you already have silvers, and this is going to make the rest of the combat free. Now, Zeke has to do Eastern. And did Mal not go clean up Eastern after Pod? I thought he did.
I don't think he skipped it. He should have. because it's not tracked, right? But I think he did. Yeah, there we go. Thank you,
Okay.
Nervendoy.
Because that means we're down to like just Pyramid Fairy. Oh boy. And then, you know.
Or Hera, but we're not even sure if there's an item left, right?
So it kind of has to be. You know what's Shovel in Pyramid Fairy?
I would love this.
You would hate to see that. And we know it's not Swamp, because we've had one player from each team go in full clear Swamp. We know it's not Ice, we had one player from each team go in clear Ice. And it can't be Mire, because Mire's kind of the place you're trying to get into.
So, but what's actually good news here now that you're able to go mode Mire. Because I think that's the dungeon you'd like to go mode.
As much as
most
it'll
favorite
allow
to
you
go
to,
mode, yeah.
anyway.
So, I mean,
You're-
for example, if you can go more Turtle Rock, it's like, meh, I don't know. You just can do the small key gamble, skipping the big chest, seeing the key from the pokey, but that's it, right?
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about Turtle Rock here with the big key being vanilla anyway, but...
Yeah. Exactly. Nothing.
So Zeke, having cleaned up Eastern, now has to... He's probably going up the mountain. Yeah, this is the right call, because you're going to get your 5-6 done. I think they probably ascertained that they need Pyramid Fairy at this point.
Oh, I mean, if you're on Team God route, seeing the flute now, this cannot feel good, right?
Well, we've already had...
Ah, right, we already had Zeke picking it up. But still, at that time, right, it's not... I don't know, they were a bit late to the party.
A little bit late to the flute. Now, at the hour mark, Turtle Rockers knows where their lamp is. So it's funny, because at 1 hour, you finally put your boots in Logic.
Yeah.
Question from chat from our restreamer, did anyone do Magic Bat? We did see Magic Bat checked by Turtle Rockers early in the seed. MalXantholos gave us a look at it. He's got my arrow, the single arrow of destiny.
Right.
Or my ride during the Halloween month, as it were.
Or some kind of finger, right?
Just riding around on the back of an arrow.
All right, then.
All right, so Turtle Rockers are going to get the unfortunate news that the Ice Rod is in TR, but the Bombos Medallion is not. Zeke and Drieky do not know that they're still looking for Bombos, because neither has flown over to Mire just yet. Drieky still needs to pick up his... Well, he's got his flute. He's got his butter sword. He's got maximum combat and effort, and now all we need to do is do the thing, really.
Zeke,
Get the
there's
go mode through a swamp.
Zeke was there a bit unlucky with those... How do you call those blue jellies there in Turtle Rock?
Well, blueberry.
Blueberry.
It's B-A-R-I berry. I don't know why they call them that.
Yeah.
Chat pointing out Zeke did go to the Mire area and knows that it's Bombos. And I kind of remember that because we were asking if Mal looked at it, but Zeke was in Mire shit at the same time. So,
Okay.
So Zeke's got his Ice Rod and will now go directly to Trinex. Do not pass go. Do not pass the Lava Chest. It has your big key. And certainly do not collect 200 rupees.
Oh, Phaaze again has to pay attention there. Laser just giving him a hard time.
Yeah, this is exactly what mine looked like on Monday, with the only difference being I actually died on this chest and then came back to last locate the flute.
Ooh. Did you get the safety before?
No. And I left because we didn't have the Ice Rod either, so it was a 50-50 between that chest and Trinex with no Ice Rod.
Well, I assume you lost the race.
Oh yeah. I threw so hard I should be an MLB pitcher.
I'm not really familiar with MLB punchlines, but yeah.
Yeah, Major League of Baseball.
Yeah, I know what MLB is, but
they can throw a ball to, like, I know it's in units that we don't have to use, but if I say something's over 100 miles per hour, then you know it's pretty fast.
Yeah. I agree there.
Just don't get hit with the ball. All right, Drieky picking up crystal number 4. Is it 4? Yeah, it is 4 out of Palace of Darkness. We'll mirror
Uh,
back for Eastern. And, you know, this has to be the
5?
Pyramid
Oh,
Fairy.
no.
Is it 5? No,
Is
it's
it?
only 4.
I-
Yeah, 3 pendants and 4 crystals.
All right.
5 will be Eastern.
All right then. Who's going first to Pyramid Ferry? It will be MalXantholos.
Can't be MalXantholos. Mal does not have the Ice
You
Rod.
are damn right. Where is
Because
he going
it's...
then?
do they not check... Oh, they didn't do Smith Chain down this way, did they? Where are we going, Mal?
Hey.
This is peculiar. I don't usually see... Did we ditch... We ditched Dig Game.
Ooh.
No! Oh, this is a weird one, because in this situation, if you rush Smith Chain and pick up the Smith, you can't just leave
But I'm
him, because if
pretty
you have
sure.
anything following you, the Dig Game guy won't let you talk to him. You can't
Yeah.
play. Even if you leave it on the next screen over, if you've got the purple chest dragging along behind you, you cannot play the Dig Game. It's just 20 rupees. So this run over here is actually like, if it's a check neither of them did, that's... Oh boy. And it's going to have to be Phaaze going to Pyramid Fairy because Mal has not yet done Turtle Rock.
Yeah, I agree there. I mean, but it's a weird play to skip. I don't know if you're doing the Smith Chain anyways, because we've seen the purple chest on MalXantholos' side. It's a bit weird to skip the digging game just to avoid the frog.
And I feel like in that situation, if you skip that, you have to commit to it. I mean, that turns into your last location.
Yeah. Talking about last location, we all almost see it now on Phaaze side.
A tracker is letting us know Mal didn't have cash, and that was something we were talking about earlier in the seed. Is money was pretty tough to keep a handle on for early parts of the seed. Pretty much everyone went into Village of Outcasts with nothing.
Yeah.
So MalXantholos did not get the 100 out of chest game, which is randomly generated every time you play, unlike the item you actually get. So Zeke and Mal... No, yeah, Zeke got 100, Phaaze got 100, Mal did not, and Mal's the one who ran the Smith Chain. So Dig Game ended up being in isolation for them.
Right. So, do we see the bombos, or is it the shovel? We are all hoping for the shovel, right?
We're expecting the Bombos. Is it
Shovel?
not here? It's right here,
Yes.
and that is no mode for the Turtle Rocker. It's actually go mode if you really
It's
think
go
about
mode,
it.
yeah. Well, it's
It's not go mode until Mal picks up his Ice Rod.
right. So it's go mode for Phaaze.
Yes. So now, Drieky knows at this point you can't do anything with Meyer. So I think you just go mode Swamp and then go get the bomb.
Yeah. I think so. I mean, yeah, you have to at this point.
And then Zeke's got quite a bit to clean up for himself here after he's taken out Trinex, because now they have to know at this point that it's Pyramid Fairy. Yeah, and Drieky, I think, is going to go right for it just to confirm that it's go mode. And deciding not to, Zeke's probably telling him, hey, go do Swamp first, because you can just come back up and do this. Swamp is a go mode dungeon. Then you just mirror out of the front of the pyramid and go straight to Meyer, and you're in good shape if you're Drieky.
And you're really not looking for anything anymore, right? You have the butter sword, you have the silvers, you have half magic, so
Absolutely, you're not looking for anything. You have at least one mail upgrade, 10 hearts, half magic, gold sword, silver arrows. I mean, the only thing you could possibly want here is a mirror shield.
but why?
Well, why not?
Well, I mean, it's still hard to predict, but it still looks a bit better for Turtle Rockers, right?
I think slightly better. Phaaze does have a number of dungeons to clean up, but so does Zeke, and both of them still have to do ice. Gee, Willikers. Because Zeke is going to go up to Pyramid Fairy having already done Swamp, so this actually really works out as a time save for TM32. Just because Drieky's going to go to Swamp and then immediately leave by Pyramid Fairy instead of having to come back down to Swamp.
Yeah, I think what was really helpful for Team God Route was Phaaze Death and Ice on Cold Stare, because this was like another, with the Icebreaker, maybe another 2.5, 3 minutes, maybe.
Maybe. Chat's saying they're kind of surprised Zeke didn't just do Hera after Turtle Rock, and the problem with Zeke, you kind of need that. Oh boy, thank you. The only problem is if you go all the way over to Hera when you're going to have to climb the mountain anyway, you might as well just mirror in front of an open GT if you're just going to go straight up to Moldorm. Zeke is just bonking that he wants in the Ganon drop down. I can't blame him. This has been a bit of a seed. There's your go mode, TM32. Just linear all over.
By the way, is TM32 some kind of Pokemon reference?
Yeah, actually, TM32 in the game is typically double team in most games. In a couple later titles, it's replaced with Dazzling Gleam and Sandstorm. But we call ourselves this because 32 is the track number that plays in the Triforce room.
This is some real next level stuff.
And then after that, Drosy, one of the league administrators, comes to me and goes, "Hey, you guys were the 32nd team in Invitational this year."
Oh.
So there's plenty of meetings. We also feel like co-op might be our best asset all season long, so, double team.
Okay.
So you can just take it from any angle, and it just works out. Zeke is now going to be in cleanup mode. We know that we just have to take care of dungeons as they come, so he's in a blitz. Drieky's going to go straight to getting Bombos, and actually Drieky might be our first runner in GT here.
Yeah, and we're now having a pure execution race.
It's either going to be Drieky or MalXantholos. And Mal's not too far off, but he also needs to go get his Bombos and take care of both Mire and Tower of Hera. Zeke forgot something. If you're going to go mode through Skullwoods, you do need to pick up this potkey.
Ooh, right.
And Phaaze is going to give us our first look at Misery Mire, which actually might work very much in Turtle Rocker's favor. If you figure out where that big key is, you can save your teammate a ton of time.
Yeah. But I mean, we're in go mode, so this means there is probably a big key, right?
You get a right side big key, you get to see everyone's least favorite room in all of Misery Mire.
What's Drieky doing?
Drieky is goofing off a little bit and then accidentally picks the bomb back up. Those are seconds, my man. Yeah, there's the Bombos Medallion pickup. So Drieky goes directly to Mire. Now we're going to see exactly where is this big key in Misery Mire, Phaaze?
Is it a God Mire?
There's your shovel. Mire big key is in dig spot. Got it.
This will be fun.
What do you mean it's not key sanity?
Yeah, I know. So the big key is definitely here in Mire. So second and last chance having a God Mire here.
It won't be. This is going to be a small key.
Yeah.
It had to be either the big key or a small key. If it's a big key, then your small key is either in the big chest or on Biddy. If it's a small key, the rest of the dungeon's open.
You are totally right.
Mire key logic is fun, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I know 100% sure, if there's in the next chest a small key, then the big key is vanilla. And I think that's the most important thing to know, right?
Right, because these two checks, they want you to have 2 small keys to go to.
Yeah. So is there a small key? No, it's our second shield.
More than likely, our key is going to be in the map chest. It could just be in the lobby, though. I mean, you can also just get 2 small keys over here and be like, haha, fooled you, it's in cutscene.
Yeah.
Oh, there's part 1.
So, 50-50.
MalXantholos now having Bombos and will enter Meyer not too far behind.
So, Phaaze, are we lucky today or not? We are. Oh my gosh, it's
Oh
another.
my goodness! You hate to see it, but would you believe that it's in the vanilla location? And you look like a genius once again.
Thanks. That's why I'm an average player in the Open League. No, it's yeah.
All
It's
right, so
going to yeah.
we know this now. I don't think Drieky goes straight to the cutscene check unless Zeke absolutely pleads for them to make that call. That's not likely to happen here, as Zeke is going to take care of Ice Palace. And Zeke and Phaaze kind of in a similar boat here, dungeon-wise. Zeke already in Ice. Like, Phaaze has to re-dive Ice to take care of Cold Stare. But Phaaze also doesn't have Thieves Town tracked? Did Phaaze do Thieves Town?
This is a very good question. I mean, you cannot tell by the item. Ah,
I mean,
well,
I feel like he had to, right? Because he's got
yeah,
the
because
miss. So
yeah, right. Yes,
this is a slight edge for Phaaze then. Even though Drake or Zeke will be able to just go through desert, it's still Gomo Desert versus Gomo. Well, they both have to do desert. So yeah, Phaaze has a 1 dungeon lead on Zeke.
yeah.
Arterl is saying Thieves Town has not been completed for Phaaze. But he picked up the mitts and left?
I don't think so. I actually don't remember, but did we see any other item there? No, it's just the mitts in the front, right?
Oh, our tracker is now confirming Phaaze took the mitts and did not finish Thieves Town. That actually could be really huge here.
Yeah. I mean, I understand the play, because if one player is finishing the dungeon and it doesn't make sense.
Oh, Drieky is going up to cut. How did Drieky undercut Malzahn for this big key?
I didn't know. I was looking at the awesome spooky action on Phaaze side.
Yeah, Phaaze getting that spooky setup with a little kick up of dust when you set the block down.
I'm really impressed if players do this without the lamp. This is always nice to see because it's very difficult. And there's the big key now for Drieky, and there's the big key for MalXantholos. So it's Myers Drieky's last dungeon, right?
Yeah. So I'm.
Well, last.
Yeah, Drieky's going straight to. No, this is Drieky's last dungeon that isn't one of the towers. So yeah, this Drieky is probably going to be the first player to get to GT.
Yeah, right. I'm a bit surprised by this because throughout the seed it didn't look like that Team 32 will be the first one to enter GT. And it's really hard to tell in co-op if someone's making time up or not, because again, looking at Forerunner screens and doing combined routes and divergence and so on, it's difficult to follow to predict who's going to be the first doing what. But now we can say somewhat sure that Drieky will be the first one to enter GT.
Yeah, as Mal still has to go ahead and do Hera. Not a big deal, but it does take that. You're gonna open GT and probably you could just go find the big key if you're the first one up there, and then go do Hera and climb.
He wants to win the big key race, then mirrors. Yeah, I actually think it doesn't matter because you have the same amount of mirror transitions.
Yeah, because you're gonna have to mirror either way.
Yeah.
But if you find the big key and your teammate has already done Tower of Hera, so all they have to do is clean up dungeons. Then they can just jump in, and you already know where the big key is.
It could make sense,
having to
right?
think about it, you know?
Yeah. I never thought about this way, but it could make sense.
All right, and that is GT mode for Drieky at 117.19. So if you have a guess where the big key of Ganon's Tower may be, feel free to leave it in chat. Any whole rational integer between 1 and 22. I have to put that out there because we say, oh, it's in check 69.
I go with pi. No. So what's your guess?
I always go all over the place. I'm gonna say 10. I like 10 today.
Okay. All right.
I should have said 32. No.
32.
So it's Drieky's making his way up to the Ganon's tower. Zeke is going to make his way over to the big key. MalXantholos now making his way up the mountain. And Phaaze has some dungeons to pick up.
You're right.
I see somebody put a 14 in chat.
Yeah, a bitch. No. Yeah, I always go by 14, but with only 4 people participating, looks good.
So just as a reminder, anybody who's not familiar with this, getting distracted by the audio switch to Drieky's music, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon 2, one of the many that I tend to go for an MSU list, but there's plenty out there. Lots to think about when playing through co-op weeks in League. Unlike in other circumstances or mediums, this does score by average team time, not by which team is done first. So it's your average time between both runners, a big deal.
So
right now, this is a pretty good first runner lead for Drieky right now. This is kind of the thing that TM32 needed coming into this race, was a good strong run.
So
Zeke having a little trouble with Spooky. He might not have it armed.
by the way, we're counting the keys for Drieky because he's the first one to enter. And is it number 1? No, it's just a small key. Oh, I didn't know you can bonk to the left lamp.
Yeah, a little bit of knowledge there for you. If you're in the bonking state when you hit that torch, you knock the item off that torch. It's almost like you bodied the torch, but without actually directly bodying it on the ricochet.
That's cool. It's not the third, not the fourth chest. Oh, we almost have all small keys. Okay.
That's a lot of small keys between the torch and the Stalfos room. That's 3 keys plus the pot key. So that opens up a good chunk of Ganon's tower for us.
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
It's just in Hope Room. So what's that, 7?
7? Was it 7?
Hey, that's our restreamer Arturil guessing 7 in chat. Well done. You win the opportunity to bring us more games.
Yeah, and Serene will send you something via mail, I guess.
I mean, I could just send you some love in one of the many Discords we both populate.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that's a pretty good. That's a pretty good GT big key, honestly.
Yeah.
And well, that's gonna be great for both Zeke and Phaaze, because Mal's gonna probably do. If Mal does what I would do here and go for the rando rush, it's gonna feel really bad for Turtle Rockers.
Yeah. But I think you do exactly what Zeke was doing. What Drieky was doing, because I mean, it hurts less if we go left, right, left instead of full left, and then there's no hope room. I mean, there's a reason why it's called the hope room, because you hope that there's the big key there.
Yeah, you hope it's a small key and a big key. And if it's not the big key, then you hope there's a small key. And if it's neither, then now what do you do? You can either go hard left or right left, right left.
Yeah, so you hope for a small key. No, first of all, you hope for the big key, then you hope for a small key, and then you hope that your opponent has done the same, but there's no key, so 3 reasons to hope there.
Right now, it is a kind of a bit of a race between Thieves Town and Desert plus Hera for Zeke. Phaaze has already gone back to knock down Cold Stare. MalXantholos has entered the climb. Drieky's already through the gauntlet. This is actually coming up to be rather close.
Yeah. Ooh, Drieky's out of arrows. This is interesting. Well, I mean, there are at least... Yeah, here he's getting 5.
Yeah, that's enough arrows to just keep on rolling here, because you're not going to need them coming up the tower any further than you already have. If you get another drop of 5 somewhere, which you're not going to get from these guards, because they're all dropping bombs.
Yeah, so... Yeah, actually, it comes down to Phaaze and Zeke, right? Because I think Drieky's going to want the finish, who finished first, and then MalXantholos is in his footsteps. But MalXantholos is such a great runner; he will make up in the climb pretty much sure sometime.
Right. That's not the only climb we have, though. Too, we also have the castle tower, the climb that we need our runners to take care of before we can go visit Ganon proper. Zeke is already headed back up the mountain, so he's going to be a mountain climb minus a Hera ahead of Phaaze.
This is actually super close, right? It looks like that.
Oh, it's so close.
Yeah. Oh, MalXantholos misses there 2 Lemos.
Chat's saying they think Zeke might
so
be a little
too.
bit ahead.
Yeah, because he's already on the mountain, right? And I mean, he'll probably set up the Hera pot before Phaaze is going into Pline's cell. Into Pline's room.
And that butter sword doesn't necessarily mean much on its own, but it is a pretty nice, I guess, you wouldn't call it an advantage, but it's its own kind of safety. It's played optimally, buttered and tempered, buttered sword, huh? Butter sword and tempered. By the way, that was a really quick Aga 2 from Drieky just now.
Yeah.
Very nice patterns. I'm pretty sure that first one's just a free triple. Now, because butter and tempered, played optimally, tempered will not lose any time to butter just because.
Yeah,
execution.
I mean, again, in the first phase, you just have to hit the last spin. Like in the very last hit has to be a spin, and then you're fine. Then it doesn't matter anymore. But anyways, I see TM32 about 1 minute ahead, maybe in total.
Maybe.
Probably.
I mean, here is Zeke up the tower. Yeah, Zeke is firmly ahead of Phaaze at this point. But that could really rubber band back if Zeke has a mishap in Ganon's tower.
I think that that's fun.
You ever get bonked so hard you get stuck on the rail and you actually have to, and you can't get off the rail. You have to either mirror or save and quit.
Yeah, right. To me, it looks like now that everything kind of comes down to Phaaze cold stare death, because I think those are like the 2 minutes wheel, and then what the difference will be, maybe.
Yeah, and that's a tough one, and it happens to anybody when things just get.
Sure.
Cold stare got a little raucous on Phaaze and got away from him, and just couldn't rally it back in. Took one last hit, and that was all she wrote. And it can really decide a race or. Change stuff up for anybody involved.
Yeah, sure.
Whether it's a solo or a co-op, it's one of those things where you hate that it happened, but you just got to keep pressing on, sort of deal. And the fact that it's this close despite that says quite a bit. This race could have gone either way.
Yeah, I mean, close one. Definitely.
Zeke, why are you? Oh, Zeke.
I like it.
That's such a goofball thing to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I know why he did it. That's actually the optimal thing to do.
Yeah.
You get that extra key and you just grab your key off Mini Helma. So Zeke entering the climb. Actually, Drieky about to hit Aga 1. So if you've got a guess as to how many of the blue orb attacks we'll see from Aga 1, please leave that in chat. Maximum of 15. Usually won't see 15, provided a player doesn't miss.
So MalXantholos is about 1.5 minutes behind Drieky, and Phaaze probably also 1 minute behind Zeke. So yeah, this is about it, I guess. So it's actually TM32's race to lose now.
It sure feels that way.
And you're not very sad about this, right?
I'm more relieved than anything, I think.
Yeah.
And then we got the safety room for Zeke. You can't really blame him, because I don't know what's in your bottle at this point, if you've already used your potions, but if you don't have any way to actually get your HP back. And we see Zeke never went and picked up powder out of desert. Probably better to have the full HP coming up here than to worry about it.
Yeah, and dying here is like... that's not good.
And this series is not over until all 4 runners have crossed the finish line here. So what our tracker's pointing out in chat is the Turtle Rockers could still take this away from Team TM32 if one of these 2 on the left here have like an unfortunate Ganon fall or a death or something.
Right. For example, at our race, it was very close, and one of the opponents died at Egger 2, and this is, of course, a game changer. Dying at Egger 2 is like, I don't know, many minutes.
Mal is hot on Drieky's heels, but Drieky has dropped into Ganon with gold and silver. This should be a pretty done deal.
I think even he could afford to get a fall here, because I really see TM32 in the lead with at least 1 or 2 minutes.
Mal is in the Aga 1 fight. Aga 1...
Did you count the blue balls?
No,
I think it was
I didn't
okay.
even look. I was too busy worrying about how close Zeke and Phaaze are going to end up through this climb as Phaaze is entering Gauntlet 5. Zeke's already end torches. And Drieky's about to just hit the done button and call it good.
Yeah, and he's already in the last phase. Only 4 more silver hits to go. Maybe he's going for a triple. This looks good.
It's probably going to be a double here. Just because of where Ganon got stopped in the teleport. But that was a smooth-looking fight for Drieky. So let's see if you prefer a single G or a GG for Drieky in chat, as he will be the first runner finishing up for us here on our stream today. Drieky clocking in for TM32 with a time in the race time room of 1:29:51. And oh my gosh, listen to that.
32.
What is it?
Has everyone ever wanted to know what track plays in what room? Have you ever wanted to listen to the dulcet tones of Cross Product late into the evening hours? Man, we have the MSU for you.
The sounds a bit weird to me. All right.
So, Drieky, our first runner done on stream here in this race today. MalXantholos setting up for the Samaria strat on Ganon's second phase. That looks so good when you can get this.
He's so good at execution.
That's beautiful. I love it.
Sure, that's really good.
And that's Aga 2 down for Zeke.
Phaaze.
Oh no! Moldorm, how could you?
I think this was kind of the last hope for the Turtle Rockers. I mean, it's just like another 20-30 seconds, but you're anyways...
For them to have a shot here, don't they have... Phaaze would have to beat Zeke by a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah.
Because there's the done coming up for MalXantholos, taking down Ganon with a few well-placed silvers at the pig.
Also, very well done. So, MalXantholos the second one to finish.
MalXantholos finishing off a time in 1:31:41, so 1 minute and 50 seconds behind Drieky.
Oh, it is actually not that close as we expected before, because I think the Turtle Rockers were in the lead for quite some time. And TM32 really did a very good job, and you can see it's very hard now for Phaaze to... Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty solid Aga 2 fight, but Zeke is all halfway through to Aga 1. At this point, they have to hope for some kind of fall or Ganon death. Even then, I'm not sure if it will be sufficient.
Yeah, this one's kind of hard to come back from, because the amount of time that Phaaze would have to make up on Zeke right now when Zeke is at the top of Castle Tower is It's rough because it seemed for quite some time with that flute and the Pod Eastern combination done for Turtle Rockers that it might have been a GG moment for TM32. And then Drieky walked into Turtle Rock, found the Ice Rod, and determined that between what they ended up splitting at the end of the day, Zeke having found the flute while Drieky discovers that TR is just go modable, I think is what really tipped this one, because I don't think the gap between Drieky and Mal can really be spoken more than like combined route.
Yeah, it's so hard to analyze where were the turning points and who's in the lead and when and what. So because co-op is really, it's kind of a new game, right? It's hard to follow, hard to predict what happens, who's in the lead, what's a good call. I mean, we were pretty sure that the flute is a pretty big disadvantage finding it that late for team 32, but eventually it wasn't.
And so Phaaze, not too far behind Zeke, still has to sit through Aga's little Kefka-like muhaha cutscene.
Kafka-like.
Kefka-like.
Yeah, I know it. It's tell me you're smart without telling me you're smart.
Yeah, there's still time for this to go awry if Zeke either, if you die right here, oh my god, don't say it.
Oh.
Don't say it and have it come true.
I mean, we still have to take into account that there's still a time advantage between Drieky and MalXantholos, so it's not about Phaaze winning against Zeke at this point, it's also about making up some time.
Like, I was worried about, though, just being, taking blue balls at 3 hearts. Even though you know how many blue balls you have left when the last hit is, the last thing you want to do is take a death at the top of Castle Tower when your opponent is literally right behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the kind of thing that would hurt in race.
But it looks like Phaaze was making up some time in Castle Tower, right?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. He's only the Aga one behind now. So.
Yeah.
Again.
Quite late, but still, I mean, I'm not sure if again fall would be sufficient at this point.
A fall with no magic would be.
Yeah. But, I mean, you have all those safeties, you have everything you want, so it's... You shouldn't have any troubles here.
All I'm saying is, whether it's your friend, your teammate, or somebody you're just calling for, you're holding your breath that they just play it safe here.
Yeah. I mean, MalXantholos is my former teammate, so I'm a bit cheering for him. No, but...
I think this is set for a triple.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Wow,
well done, Zeke.
And if he's able to cross the bridge, that's it. Get your GGs in chat. This is the win for... Give him another 5 seconds. GG, that's a win for Team 32. Congratulations. Also congratulations to you.
Now let's see some GGs for all 4 runners. Phaaze does have to drop into Ganon and take care of it, but that means these 2 teams in a pretty heated week for AD co-op, they're going to split these games and both lead with 3 points.
I mean, it's okay start for both teams, right? 1-1, why not? It's okay.
You're always happy to take a win when you can. And it's probably one of the more stacked divisions, but it's invitational. Every division is stacked. We definitely do not feel at home against some of the names we have to play against. So to take a win here, I'd say for, me personally and the team, it probably feels really good coming in from basically near the top of the Open League last season.
Oh.
Not quite getting there, though. Our peers are there.
The others messed it up. Okay, so Phaaze now also just need to hit 3 more silver arrows. Oh, yeah. Gets a double there, and 1 silver arrow is missing. And here we go. Finishes about 7 minutes late. I think it's still the valid time, 1:22:51, right? on the tracker. And now also get your GGs in chat, and we are joined by everyone.
Well,
Full
everyone
day
just
this
piled
time.
into chat. Let's hear some GGs for all 4 runners here.
GGs to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah.
Okay. Zarin, your first question is on your side. It's your team that won, so go for
So, what do y'all feel about vanilla flippers?
I had words.
it.
Because we were convinced it was going to be Mitts or Hammer on Zora, and then Zora's like, never mind, your Hammers and Waterfall, have your swimmers.
Honestly, we broke the mountain with Zora being a known last location, expecting Lamp.
Yeah, that was
Oh, yeah.
also on our mind. Yeah. So it was we found the lamp to be more realistic than it's going to be the hammer or mitts, but nobody expected the flippers. Well, after finding the hammer there.
After finding the hammer, I was like, it's a vanilla flipper, probably.
Yeah. But you kind of, I don't remember who got it first, but it was like first players of each team, like almost at the same time, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, the money situation was pretty terrible on this seed. We had to Boolean. At least the stun prize was good for this, but there was no money anywhere. Was
Yep.
I mean, I had to route in Eastern Palace Rupee Room.
It was kind of rough going through Village of Outcasts, too, and that kind of bit you guys a bit, Turtle Rockers, because we saw Mal run back to Dig Game, because the first time through Village of Outcasts, unfortunately, Chess Game did not pay out for you. It paid out for Zeke and Phaaze. So that's just money problems everywhere on the seed. This was a stingy seed for resources a little bit.
Just a little.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, but it was great to watch. Actually, we saw the Turtle Rockers having a big advantage finding the flute very much earlier than the TM32 team, but eventually it came out that it wasn't that important somehow. So I know we're talking about like 10 minutes later, maybe, if I'm not wrong.
Okay. Yeah, well,
Something
there was
like this.
nothing in my area.
Yeah, but
It
still,
came down to
it's a
last
good mobility item.
It
Yeah.
probably came down to last locating Bombos for everybody.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Bombos was the thing where like, well, we've got nothing left, so it's just in Pyramid Fairy.
I expected a shovel.
You know, I saw that in the race room chat, and I probably would have been mad at you if it was a shovel.
By the way, was there an item still in Hera? Or
No.
did you guys get? Oh,
No.
okay.
Yeah,
We
none
were-
of us
Nice.
actually. Nobody here actually counted the items in Hera, so we didn't know if Hera Basement was on the table or not.
Drieky counted.
I
I
counted
counted
too.
there was one item on the, I think it's a map chest.
No,
The
it was
climb,
compass
and
chest and
one on
boss.
compass.
Yeah.
Okay, compass chest. The
20
useless
rupees.
chest in an MG, and yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, when
boss.
you find the Ice Rod in TR and you determine your go mode is not in TR, you know it's just in Pyramid Fairy. It's both a feels bad and also a thank goodness we've already cleared everything else.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
at this point we just thought, okay, let's do our objective. We don't care. Let's grab our crystal, and we just have to loot. We literally said we are in go mode. We just need to loot this big red bomb because our go mode is here, and that's all.
Yep.
That does put week 1 in the books for us here. Pretty sure we're all happy to at least come away with some points, but is there any like reminiscence we want to have over the 2 games that these two played this week? Anything we're looking forward to in Ambrosia? What's your thoughts on this first week of the league so far?
I'm just happy we got a win.
Yep, same.
Good point.
Yeah.
This division is
Yes.
rough, so
Yeah, I guess I won one split in the first week. It's not too bad for everybody. So at least we all of us got a win. That's nice, of course. So none of us can go 0-7 or 0-14.
true.
Once you get that first win, 0-14 is just off the table. That's a monkey off your back right away, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So on to Inversia after this weekend. So we're moving on. TM32 is playing against the Eastern Skippers. So we've got our work cut out for us. What do you guys got?
We play against Team Hime,
Oh boy.
Oh.
purely German matchup, so it's
Yeah,
gonna
right.
be
That's
nice to schedule.
German team, right?
Yeah, so watch out for that over on SGDE. So we'll probably
yeah.
get simulcasts in English and German for you guys.
Yeah,
Oh, that would be cool.
yeah, they
Yeah,
did
I'm
that a few times.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
definitely looking forward to this race.
So
Oh,
I'm sitting week 2.
Sure.
I'm not.
Zeke and Drieky, what are your thoughts on Inversia?
I love inverted. You know that. Inverted is my favorite mode. We saw the mode list when we signed up as a team. And we were like, yeah, I basically told you guys, you two figure out who else is playing. I'm playing Inversia.
Yeah, I think Ambrosia is one of my favorite mode. I like inverted, so Ambrosia is still something I pretty like. So yeah, see how this goes. There's some keys logic about it.
Yep.
Yeah, fun
Hammer
mode.
blind. Be hard moth.
Blind is easy.
Good
You
old
don't need to do
3-heart
hammer blind.
fighter sword moth. Let's go.
You don't need to do hammer blind. You can do it fighter sword blind. That's easier.
Yeah, he's just Samaria
Tell that-
blind for style points.
Nailed that to the seat.
Well, I mean, Inversia does have a starting sword, so you're not worried about whether or not hammer blind.
True.
See, what you don't want to see is your hammer coming after you've killed blind in progression in the TT big chest.
What in that
Yeah.
situation? What Thieves Town big chest? There is no Thieves Town big chest.
Until there is.
Nope, it doesn't exist.
I think the real spooky boss in Invosia is mostly mod when you just have the fighter, or even worse when you have to do cold.
Cold Stare with hammer, fighter sword, low percent, no safety for Moon Pearl is probably the hardest progression chain I have ever played in Inversia. It's not great.
It's awesome.
Yeah, Moon Pearl on pedestal was worse to me. Behind that Cold Stare fight. So
Did you ever walk with 3 hearts from after beating Aga from the castle to Mayashet for your moon pearl?
Yep.
That's something really awful.
Yep, it is. So I'm also not a fan of doing it to go into Misery Mire either.
Yeah.
But I think that's enough about Inversia. I think we should look at wrapping up all dungeons.
Well, we've seen pretty much the entirety of Hyrule twice from these two teams. So if you haven't already, make sure you give them a follow. Drieky, Zeke Highwind, MalXantholos, Phaaze, myself, and Namefaker, the members of both teams. And a big shout outs again to our restreamer today, Arteril, putting this on the League channel. Thank you very much. Trix joining me in the commentary session. Had a lot of fun with this one.
Yeah, thanks. And I'm looking forward to do the German commentary next week with you for the next game.
Yeah, nice.
And
It's easy, trust me.
We would be incomplete without a tracker, and normally we have two, but we have to give Nerve Indulge a big pat on the back because that's tracking for 4 players, and that's real hard to do. So big shout outs there as well.
Oh,
Double
absolutely.
shout outs, because double work, double shout outs.
Triple shout outs even. That's really amazing for people.
Yeah. I mean, at least it's a visual tracker that you can click on buttons easier, but you still pay attention. Yeah. GG's again to the Turtle Rockers. It was an excellent series between those two games.
Yeah, GG's to you too.
GG.
Yeah, GG's. So we've got some more action coming up for you guys. In just a little bit here, we'll be seeing You got poutine on my cheesesteak versus Tipsy Tavern Toasters. I will be showing us that one. So we're going to just vacate, give him a little time to set that one up, okay?